Welcome to the Jacqueline Hayes Show. Empowered you, empowered living. She talks with amazing people, has amazing conversations, and hopes of helping you experience amazing joy, meaning, and purpose in your life. The Jacqueline Hayes Show is dedicated to helping people feel empowered, strong, valued, and joyful. On the show, we'll talk about what inspires, challenges, moves, and shapes us, and hopes that it will do the same for you. Our conversations will be lively, purposeful, and fun. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the show.
Hi friends, hope you're well. Welcome to another episode of the Jacqueline Hayes Show. I am super excited about today's guest on the Jacqueline Hayes Show. As you guys know, for me, it's all about empowering people with knowledge, tools, resources, and information that they need to live their best, most amazing and beautiful life. And today's guest on the Jacqueline Hayes Show is going to really provide some really good information for individuals who are looking at ways to define, design, and create the life of their dreams. And so I am super excited. I've got my good friend Stacey Clark here in the studio, and Stacey's with Leap, Learn, Live. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and they're doing amazing things. So before we get into our conversation, let me tell you a little bit about our amazing guest, Stacey Clark. So Stacey is actually the founder and serving president of Leap, Learn, Live. As I mentioned earlier, it's a 501c3 organization. Stacey is a passionate educator. She's a proud mother, grandmother, wife, devoted daughter, and the list goes on and on. And she's super excited about empowering and educating individuals to live their best life. So I think you're going to learn a lot from Stacey. The platform Leap, Learn, Live is amazing. So Stacey Clark, welcome to the Jacqueline Hayes Show.
Thank you so much, Jackie, for having me.
Yay! I'm so excited that you're here. We've been talking about Leap, Learn, Live for some time now, and I'm excited to have you on the show because I think, and I want to get your thoughts, I think we all have the capacity to define and design the life of our dreams and that the power is within us. So I'm so excited that we have this opportunity to have this conversation to share with our guests. So before we get into the juiciness of Leap, Learn, Live, tell my guests a little more about who you are, how Leap, Learn, Live came about, and a little more about it.
Okay, so we'll start with who am I?
Yeah.
I am a closet innovator. By closet innovator, I mean that it took me a little bit to start to bring my own personal innovations out of myself.
Okay.
Probably a better way to put it. I've got a better way to put it, Jackie.
Okay.
I'm a late bloomer. I didn't start blooming my ideas and my innovations until about maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
I learned about design thinking. And design thinking is something that a lot of major corporations use. It's human-centered design, and it's the way that they create products that are meant for humans. Well, there's these really, kind of cool professors out at Stanford University, and they created a new program called Designing Your Life. They'll kill me if I get it wrong.
Designing Your Life, because you actually shared the book with me.
Yes, I
did. The book. Again, the book is Designing Your Life. It is a great read for anyone listening who's in a place where life is not working, they're stuck, they're bored, they're unfulfilled. The book is a game changer. It's an easy read. The professors are amazing, so carry on.
They really are amazing, and I had the opportunity to go out to Northern California and to participate in one of their workshops. And when I was there, what I found to be most compelling was that there was this opportunity to help people get unstuck. But the other thing was there wasn't a whole lot of diversity. It was kind of a very expensive thing to get involved with. Okay. These are people who had choices. You know, do I buy this or do I buy that? Well, a lot of people don't have choices, right?
Okay, yeah.
They're looking for, okay, how do I get some choices on my plate?
Yeah.
And so I kind of took away from that I wanted to kind of disrupt that. I wanted to bring that to everybody. And I knew who that everybody was because I've been that person. I've been the person who needed design thinking, you know? So yeah, Leap, Learn, Live was pretty much born of that experience.
Okay. So you've had the opportunity to take that idea and put it in a platform, an environment where individuals can have access to the knowledge, resources, the methodology in a way that they can actually have access to it. So
absolutely.
So tell us about it. Tell us about Leap, Learn, Live, what it is, who you serve and some of the components of the program.
Well, Leap, Learn, Live is a 501c3 nonprofit. That's the first thing. I decided that I wanted to make sure that the people who needed it the most would have access to it. So that's why I set it up as a nonprofit.
Okay.
So our courses, compared to courses you might take at MIT or Stanford, you're talking about 12,000 plus, maybe 3,000 if you take it on an online platform. Our classes are about $25 or less. Right now, actually, I'm offering them for free, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But our classes are a lot less. And they are geared towards the everyday person. So traditional design thinking, it was developed by engineers, and engineers speak is not necessarily the easiest thing to grasp hold of and to process.
Right.
I referred the book, Designing Your Life, to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of people come back to me and tell me they were scratching their heads. They're like, I don't know what to do with this. It didn't seem like something that they could apply immediately. So I knew that I needed to simplify the language and make it for everybody. And so I came up with Define, Design, Create, which is both a method and a mindset.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that.
Okay. So Leap, Learn, Live, Define, Design, Create. Let's walk through each component. Let's talk about it all together, what it means, how it works together as it relates to Leap, Learn, Live. And let's talk about each one individually. So let's say we have someone listening to us, and we'll just create the scenario and walk through the model here. And
sure.
So let's say someone's listening to us, and he or she is in a place in life where they've experienced a layoff, or their skills are no longer relevant in today's job market, or they're just going to work and they're not happy.
Okay.
Tell them how Leap, Learn, Live can support them, and also talk to them how they can consider plugging in and talk about how Define, Design, Create work.
Okay. So going back to the persona you created of this person who may have either been laid off or just woke up and just really wasn't happy anymore. So someone like that, this program, it starts with you. Okay. So the idea is that anything that you create using Define, Design, Create should be based on who you are authentically. And so the first part of this program, which we call the Leap Step, is when you define who you are. So we take you through a 5-day challenge, and that is the course that's available right now. Okay. We take you through a 5-day challenge, and in that challenge, you're going to define what your values are, what your personal or personality strengths are, what your character strengths are, what your passion, your purpose, and your fears are. Whoa. And then in the end, you create what's called an authentic lifestyle manifesto. And that authentic lifestyle manifesto is the holy grail for you. It should be what you use as a litmus test for everything going forward.
Okay.
Because at that point, you have looked very deep into yourself. You have cleared away all the cobwebs, and you have stood very passionately and very courageously and defined yourself, which can be very difficult. It takes a lot of courage to do it.
Right. I was going to say that to get to that authentic lifestyle manifesto, or just that your authentic self, that's a process, that's a journey.
It's
right?
a journey. It is. And as such, we have in our program, you're doing journaling, and that's a big part of it, because the journaling helps you to capture, your deepest, truest thoughts. But we start each one with a little meditation and mindfulness. Nice. We have a lovely young lady. Her name is Amy Neal, and Amy has created some mindfulness meditation balancing that all of our students get to participate in, and they're doing it on their own. Okay. So they'll create their own creating space, and but the mindfulness is the first thing that they do right at the top. We really like the idea of having people creating their own creative space, basically. So it can be that you come in with your tea and your music or whatever, but we think it's best that you decide for yourself what unleashes your creativity.
And I like the thought of that, because it gives you, lets you know that you're in control. You get to design and create what works best for you as a unique individual.
Yes,
correct?
Yes. From start to finish, that's what this is about. It's about you having choices, taking ownership, asserting your voice, and being authentic. So, and I learned that it's actually an acronym called COVA.
Okay.
And that was part of what I learned at Lamar University as a Master's of Education student.
Okay.
That was the big flagship program for them is COVA, and it's choice, ownership, voice, and authenticity.
Choice, ownership, voice, authenticity, right?
And all of that is built into this program.
Now, let me ask you, Stacey, I love it. Tell us more. Let's say for someone listening, the 5-day challenge that's available now. Tell us what that consists of, what your modules are like, your learning experience. What is that like? Are there worksheets? Are there videos, exercises? Kind of walk us through.
So the program, this is the flagship program. So it is definitely a work in progress, and it is a living program. So as people go through it and share more, we are like totally excited to make it better. We're hoping that a community will form around this that will help us to do that, to make it better. But right now it is online. It is a download for the access to it. And it's essentially a PDF that they can scroll through. It's a hyperlinked PDF that they can scroll through. But it's a one day at a time. I mean, my biggest suggestion is that you go one day at a time because it's very deep work.
Okay.
A lot of people want to kind of zoom through it, but when you zoom through it, you really miss the point. You know, it's like, this is not a test. This is a journey, right?
This is your life, right? You're
this is your life. Yes, you are.
Take
yes,
your time. Be mindful. Be
and
present.
it's okay to. It's okay to.
I highly recommend it, actually, right?
Right, you know?
Don't rush to get to the outcome. Actually, engulf yourself in the experience. Would you say that's an appropriate mindset?
Well, I would say that, yeah, you need time to explore your own thoughts and your real feelings about things. We always have this knee-jerk reaction that we have to have the right answer now, or we have to answer the question correctly now. That's not this. You are the right answer, and you're everything. It's about you.
It's all about you, right?
It's about you.
And I like how you said give yourself permission to get to like the real questions, or just to get the froth off the top, or just the surface rote kind of things we do, where you kind of get quiet, get calm, meditate, get centered.
Yes.
So you can calm down and allow the inner you, the inner spirit to speak.
And Jackie, and get real.
And get real.
Right?
For your own sake, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It's for no one else but you.
Okay.
You are the one who is going to benefit from you being real and getting real. And this is the beginning of acceptance, right? This is how you get to love yourself. You have to introduce yourself to yourself. Hello,
Hi, my name is Jacqueline.
That's
so
right.
nice to meet
Yes,
you.
yes.
We've been together all this time, and I don't
Absolutely.
even know you. So let's
Yes.
change the nature of our
But I
relationship.
love you.
And I love you. I've been so committed to you, and thank you for your patience. Okay, so let's kind of paint a picture of the 5-day challenge experience. So let's say someone goes to the platform Leap, Learn, Live, and they look for the 5-day challenge, which is available now.
It's under courses on our menu.
So if you go to the website, leaplearnlive.com, click on the courses module and look for the 5-day challenge icon and follow the steps to get enrolled.
It's defining your authentic self.
Okay.
Is what it's called, yeah.
So defining your authentic self, it's a 5-day challenge.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So let's walk us through a few components of the challenge to kind of set the tone for someone who's considering the platform as a
what they're going to experience.
Yeah.
So day one, they'll open up the program. You have an opportunity to read through some of the things that we have available to you. Like I said, we've got that mindfulness practice, and we have some suggestions for how you might create your own creative space. And then after that, the first day is you figuring out what your values are. And so we have and I don't want to give it away because it's very personal. So, and I think everybody needs to have their own experience with it. But there's a 2-parter. So the first part, they are going to examine 6 lives. And after they've examined those 6 lives and determined which of the 6 lives they think is the most successful, then they're going to go through another piece of it that gets them to kind of question whether or not that's what they really think. Okay.
So they get to discover what their core values are. That's one component. What else?
Yep. And so that's day one.
Okay.
Now, day two, you come back and you focus on your character strengths. And we use VIA, which is an online platform that all they do is character